Go out. We have to take care of our guest first. Robert bent down to pat Sam's head, and, noticing Lin Luo standing at the stairs, turned to ask, Sam and I are planning to go hunting later. Do you want to join? Lin Luo was taken aback by his words. Thinking that she had nothing to do anyway, and that there might be a quest triggered by going out, she nodded and replied, sure. Hearing her response, a hint of joy appeared on Robert's face as he said, with your participation, we will definitely catch a big game. But first, we should finish breakfast. And I need to prepare some gear for you. Ding. Robert's favorability increased by 5. Ding. Acquired basic knowledge of firearms. Accuracy increased by 50. Reminder, you have entered storyline mode. Wow, is Sister Luo getting involved in the main storyline? I told you, this girl must have some connection with the ultimate madman. Otherwise, with her intelligence, she wouldn't even trigger a quest after playing to death. Talking to him is how you get a quest? This is so amazing. Seeing the internal game prompt, the audience in the live stream was completely stunned. They never expected that the main storyline quest they had searched for tirelessly online would actually be triggered through a conversation. Moreover, the NPC issuing the task doesn't even realize they are an NPC. This is truly a rare sight. Lin Luo was also stunned by the scene before her and took a while to react. However, once she did, she felt something was off. After claiming the rewards from the game system, there was no reaction at all. Preoccupied with the task, Lin Luo absent-mindedly finished her breakfast and followed Robert to the weapons storage of the large villa. When she saw the weapons inside the storage, her mind suddenly cleared up. She could name every firearm without needing to check any manuals. Even more surprisingly, she knew how to use these weapons. Wow. For a moment, Lin Luo was frozen in place. The viewers in the live stream, confused, saw her standing still and mistakenly thought she was shocked by the scene. This led to some teasing from the audience. Do you have a handy firearm? At that moment, Robert's voice sounded beside her. Lin Luo snapped back to reality and proceeded to select her weapons. Once they were armed, they left the villa with Sam. The hunting mission had begun. Boom, boom. The roar of the engine echoed through the desolate streets. A red Ford was chasing a herd of moose that were fleeing in panic. Sitting in the back seat, Lin Luo's face turned pale, her stomach churning, while an excited Robert pressed down hard on the gas pedal. What the heck? Is this guy insane? Lin Luo gripped the car's overhead handle tightly, internally complaining. Wow, Robert's driving skills are incredible. If you try to survive alone in a deserted city for a few years, forget about driving skills. You might even develop super strength. No way. I'm totally in love. I can't wait to race now. Damn it, I need to take a day off and just game today. Haha. Look at Luo Jia's face. It's like her soul has left her body. Robert's driving was as smooth as flowing water, instantly provoking a howling reaction from the viewers in the live stream. The car chase continued, and the moose herd scattered. Upon seeing this, Robert immediately steadied the steering wheel with one hand, raised his assault rifle, and confidently pulled the trigger. Bang, bang. However, due to the high speed of the car, he didn't hit any targets. With an annoyed expression, Robert tossed the gun into the passenger seat and pressed the gas pedal to chase after a lost moose. After covering some distance, the road conditions worsened. Dozens of cars were haphazardly scattered across the overgrown asphalt road. Damn! Seeing the prey dive into the traffic, Robert cursed and had to stop the car. He grabbed the assault rifle from the passenger seat, turned to Lin Luo, and instructed her before getting out with Sam. Stay in the car and don't go into those buildings. Lin Luo, already aware of the mission's trigger conditions, paused for a moment, but then got out of the car with her gear. It's too boring to stay in the car. I want to go see what is happening with you. Are you sure? Robert looked at Lin Luo in surprise, noticing the other person's concerns. Lin Luo patted the M4A1 in his hands and said, Don't worry, I can take care of myself, and it's daytime. Having gone through several unexpected events, Lin Luo was no longer the novice who had just started. Besides, the mission was right in front of him, and there was no reason to back down. Seeing this, Robert felt there was not much danger and, after a slight hesitation, shared some precautions with her before agreeing to let her follow. With the decision made, the two of them and a dog set off, chasing after the large antlered deer through the chaotic traffic. As they pursued, Sam's advantages quickly became apparent in the disordered terrain. The black-backed dog darted swiftly among the vehicles. Before long, they had created some distance and cornered the deer into an open area dominated by tall buildings. Upon seeing the surrounding terrain, Robert felt an inexplicable sense of worry. However, seeing that the large antlered deer was being driven into a corner by Sam, he thought it would indeed be a pity to give up. Without further hesitation, he quickly ran forward. Yet, the startled deer, upon seeing him, became even more frightened and dashed through an open iron gate on the left without hesitation. Seeing the prey just within reach, Sam became anxious and immediately barked, chasing the deer through the iron gate. Robert, running at full speed, broke into a cold sweat and yelled towards the gate. No, 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 Sam, come back. Chapter 036. Brave dog, brave owner, run fast. No, no, come out. As Sam dashed through the iron gate, Robert's eyes were filled with desperation as he tried to call back his beloved dog. However, all that responded to him was the dark, imposing iron door. The viewers in the live stream, seeing Sam rush into the gate, were equally stunned, their eyes wide open. Wow, this dog is really brave. Seriously, this is a death wish. The dog is mighty. The dog ascends to heaven, with boundless power. You bunch of pessimists, can't you ever wish for something good for others? Lin Luo glanced at the barrage of comments in the live stream, her expression darkening. Although she hadn't known the black dog for long, it was quite sensible, and even she, a non-dog lover, liked it very much. But this group of people in the live stream was actually hoping for the dog's demise. They weren't good people at all. However, it must be said, that black dog was indeed brave. Just for hunting, this was too reckless. Robert, sprinting to the iron gate, looked at the dark entrance, his reddened eyes filled with worry. No, no, no. In front of the iron gate, Robert paced back and forth anxiously, wanting to go in but feeling a bit fearful. Lin Luo, who had followed closely behind, was at a loss for words. However, after hesitating for a moment, Robert ultimately raised his gun and stepped directly into the iron gate without even saying a word. Wow, the dog is brave, and so is the owner. He just went in. It was confirmed, Robert was definitely a dog lover. In his heart, that wasn't just a dog, it was a brother. I would take a knife for my brother, but my brother would stab me instead. Seeing Robert hesitate only slightly before resolutely stepping through the iron gate, the viewers in the live stream erupted. The dog is brave, but even the person is brave. How have these two survived in this world for so many years? The audience couldn't help but speculate. What should I do? Watching both the person and the dog disappear into the small black door, Lin Luo stood frozen, unsure of what to do. Fortunately, at that moment, the game's built-in system made a decision for her. As Robert entered the black door, a crimson countdown timer popped up in the lower right corner of her vision. 10, 9, 8. Lin Luo had no idea what the countdown represented, and she didn't want to know. So, she had no choice but to grit her teeth and walk into the iron gate. As the saying goes, you must walk the path you choose, even if it's filled with tears. The moment she entered, the stark contrast plunged her into darkness, startling her into stopping. Once she adjusted to the darkness, she realized she couldn't find any trace of Robert. Lin Luo's heart immediately raced. Even though a sliver of sunlight shone through the iron door behind her, in this dim environment, it still felt eerie. Feeling panicked, Lin Luo quickly drew out her powerful flashlight from her waist, turned it on without hesitation, and shone it around in a frantic attempt to find Robert. Robert, Robert. She didn't dare to make too much noise, but even so, the faint echo startled her into immediately closing her mouth. Shh. Just then, a voice sounded, followed by a beam of light shining towards her. Lin Luo was startled and hurriedly shone her flashlight back, causing the other person to shield their eyes from the brightness. Upon seeing a familiar face, Lin Luo quickly moved the flashlight away. At that moment, Robert came to her side and whispered, "Wait for me outside. I found Sam and will meet you there." Robert's words warmed her heart. However, feeling touched aside, no one knew what the consequences would be once the countdown ended. So, considering her own safety, she decided it was more prudent to stick with him. No, I can't just watch you take risks. I would feel guilty. Let's act together. It would be safer. Hearing her words, Robert in the darkness paused for a moment. His dark eyes fixed on Lin Luo for a while, and then he gratefully said, "Thank you so much. You can rest assured. There usually aren't many night creatures in these buildings. They sleep during the day, and as long as there isn't too much noise or bright light, they won't wake up." Ding. Robert's affection 10. Ding. Acquired precision shooting. Ding. Acquired initiative. A series of prompts popped up, leaving Lin Luo stunned. Wow, what is going on? There are actually skills? Lin Luo anticipated that traveling with Robert might trigger a mission, but she never expected to gain skill rewards. And what does initiative even mean? What kind of skill is that? So speechless. At the same time, the viewers in the live stream began to mock. Huh, look at this, what's this initiative? I have to say, Sister Luo is truly talented. Even the skills she gains are mind-boggling. Be content. I just saw on the forum that quite a few people have triggered storylines. You didn't see the abilities they got. I saw. That digging expert skill of that girl is simply hilarious. What the heck, what's happening? Why is the progress so fast now? Lin Luo was startled by the barrage of comments in the live stream, completely not expecting that the progress in I Am Legend VR would be this quick. If she continued to procrastinate, she might be caught up or even surpassed. Gamers have a common psychology. If you aren't at the top, that's fine. But once your progress or level far exceeds others, a sense of crisis naturally arises. You become very afraid of others catching up or surpassing you. Even spending money in the game is influenced by this. That's why a profession called dog emerged online. At this moment, Lin Luo was feeling this way. Sam. In the pitch-black environment, Robert led Lin Luo forward slowly. Every few steps, he would shine a strong flashlight around the environment and then quickly cover the light. Lin Luo followed closely behind, holding an M4A1. Her delicate face covered in fine beads of sweat. Even in the stifling heat of the narrow stairwell, she felt no warmth. Instead, it was as if she was gradually stepping into an abyss. Each time Robert raised his hand, Lin Luo would immediately aim her gun at the direction of the flashlight beam. Their cooperation was remarkably synchronized. A few seconds later, Robert removed his hand from blocking the flashlight's beam again, and Lin Luo instinctively turned to aim at the illuminated spot. Her sweat-drenched face instantly turned pale, and she opened her mouth to scream, "Mom." Fortunately, Robert was quick, covering her mouth with his hand and whispering in her ear, "Shh. They're just behind the wall. It's impossible that." However, before Robert could finish his sentence, two barks suddenly erupted from the other side of the lobby. Woof! Woof! Robert's expression changed instantly, and without hesitation, he grabbed Lin Luo and turned to run. At the same time, strange noises suddenly erupted behind them. Hiss! Hiss! Clap! 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 Chapter 037. Luckily, I reacted quickly, almost took down the NPC dam. Hearing the heavy footsteps behind him, Robert's expression turned extremely grim. Lin Luo was so scared that he ran for his life, without a hint of curiosity to look back. In this pitch-black environment, it was easy to imagine what could produce such a sound. Meanwhile, in the live stream where viewers had been discussing the plot through comments, the barrage of messages suddenly vanished, and everyone's hearts were in their throats. The adrenaline rush from this life and death race against a grim fate was simply too exhilarating. The environment, sound effects, and the heavy breathing of Lin Luo and Robert all heightened the viewers' adrenaline. The tense atmosphere of their desperate escape sent chills down everyone's spine, making them break out in goosebumps. Over there, during their run, Robert suddenly shouted and swiftly turned into a side corridor. Lin Luo, without hesitation, closely followed him. Bang! A double wooden door that was slightly ajar was violently pushed open by Robert, and dim light instantly flooded into the corridor. Robert rushed into the room, quickly scanning the surroundings with his gun drawn. Lin Luo followed closely, and the light inside the room was much brighter, though still dim. A glance around revealed that this room had likely been a large office space before. However, all the desks and chairs were piled up by the window, and heavy, dark curtains blocked out the light. Thud, thud, thud. Before they could take a closer look, heavy, chaotic footsteps echoed from the corridor. Robert immediately turned around, aiming his gun at the dark hallway behind them. A few seconds later, grayish-white figures emerged from the corridor. As they got closer, Lin Luo could see that the figures were hideous, bald-headed night demons. Before the night demons could approach, Robert pulled the trigger. Bang, bang, bang. In an instant, the spacious room echoed with the harsh, brutal sounds of gunfire. Although the night demons were terrifying, they were still within the realm of biological beings. Bullets still dealt lethal damage to them. Before a few night demons could get close, they were shot down by Robert. However, with the gunfire, the entire building erupted with a chorus of howls. All the night demons in the building were awakened. Damn, how could there be so many? Hearing the relentless howls, Robert's face turned extremely grim. He glanced at the dark corridor and immediately turned to Lin Luo, saying, "Stay alert, and don't hold back when you see those creatures." Do I need to be told? Lin Luo, who had no concept of holding back, nodded in response. Just as they were speaking, another 10 or so figures appeared in the corridor. The pale-skinned night demons, with their black mouths agape, charged at the two like wild beasts. Lin Luo felt terrified but did not hesitate, aiming and firing at the rushing night demons. Bang, bang, bang. The sound of gunfire erupted, and as her gun moved, the bullets flew out as if they had eyes, directly piercing the heads of several night demons. Wow, when did she become a sharpshooter? This must be fake. It has to be fake. That woman is just lucky. Come on, let me see you do it. This is unbelievable. When did this lady's shooting skills get so good? I think I should know. Do you remember that precise shooting she achieved earlier? No way. Is it real? So impressive? Compared to the shocked audience in the live stream, Lin Luo herself was also in disbelief upon seeing herself take down several night demons. Am I really that accurate? Lin Luo stared wide-eyed, instinctively looking at the assault rifle in her hands. Before she could think too much, Robert's voice rang out. Lin Luo, great job. I didn't expect your shooting skills to be this good. Hearing Robert's praise, Lin Luo felt a bit elated and glanced at Robert, who resembled her brother, instinctively replying, "Of course, just take a look at me." Realizing halfway through that he was not her brother, she quickly corrected herself. It's okay. Upon hearing Lin Luo's modest words, Robert didn't react much and took down 2 more night demons with a couple of shots. Although there was constant roaring inside the building, no night demons appeared in the corridor for the time being. Seeing this, Robert immediately signaled Lin Luo to run to the other side, planning to find a way back from there. Just as the two of them had not gone far, a shadow suddenly sprang out from the gap between the piled desks and chairs, rushing towards Robert. With nerves on edge, Lin Luo instinctively reached for her gun. But Robert blocked the muzzle and exclaimed, "Wait, it's Sam." At that critical moment, Lin Luo quickly pulled her finger off the trigger, looking at Robert, who was in front of her gun, drenched in cold sweat. "Damn. Luckily, I reacted quickly. Almost shot an NPC. Sam." Seeing his beloved dog unharmed, Robert happily squatted down, hugging Sam's neck with tears in his eyes. After years of loneliness, if it weren't for this black shepherd in front of him, he didn't know if he would still have the will to live. This touching scene of the bond between a person and a dog immediately drew applause from dog lovers in the live stream. Some new viewers were moved to tears upon learning that this man and dog had relied on each other for years in a world devoid of human life. Now that the dog was found, their main task was to leave quickly. Roar. Just as the two entered another passage, an angry roar suddenly erupted from the large office behind them. Along with the roar, chaotic, heavy footsteps echoed in their ears. Their expressions changed instantly, and without hesitation, they quickly ran back down the passage they had come from. In the dim, narrow corridor, devoid of light, it felt even darker. The beam of the strong flashlight flickered wildly, making the entire corridor appear like a long-abandoned dance hall. Not far ahead, at the end of the corridor, there was a safe passage leading down to the lower floor, where they could return to the room with the iron door they had previously opened. Robert and Sam were clearing the way in front, with Lin Luo closely following behind them. Just as the safe passage came into sight, they unexpectedly caught a glimpse of three shadowy figures rushing out from a room as they passed by. The sudden turn of events caught them off guard, and by the time they reacted, the three figures were only 2 steps away from them. At that moment, even with lightning speed, it was already too late to evade or resist. Lin Luo felt a wave of despair rise within her, instinctively preparing to cover her face and give up the fight. However, just at that critical moment, in her utmost despair, Lin Luo suddenly became deaf. All the surrounding sounds vanished, and her heart began to beat rapidly and intensely. Before she could make sense of it all, Lin Luo noticed that the world in front of her began to change dramatically. Her clear vision suddenly became blurred, as if covered by a layer of film. At the same time, the movements of the three shadowy figures appeared to slow down to a crawl. Lin Luo's eyes widened in disbelief, and she exclaimed, This is Chapter 038. No, don't send gifts. I really don't know anything. This is it a preemptive strike? Lin Luo couldn't believe her eyes. Her beautiful eyes widened in shock as she stared at the countdown skill icon that popped up in her field of vision. She instinctively checked, and a message appeared. Preemptive strike. Passive skill. Significantly enhances the body's reaction speed. Lasting 5 seconds. Cooldown time is 1 minute. Activation condition. The skill will automatically trigger when the character is highly focused or under strong fluctuations. Wow, this is a divine skill. With this, doesn't that mean that Sister Luo will always have the chance to strike first? And it lasts for 5 seconds. Even 1 second would be unbearable. This isn't just a significant enhancement. Look at that monster-esque movements, slower than a snail. Initially, when the livestream suddenly slowed down, the audience thought Lin Luo's stream had lagged. But once they saw the countdown on the screen and the introduction of the preemptive strike passive skill, they were all stunned. Preemptive strike? Isn't this passive skill a bit too overpowered? And it lasts for 5 seconds with only a 1-minute cooldown. Unbelievable. And they dare say there's no inside information? How can anyone live like this? Looking at the countdown, Lin Luo abruptly snapped out of her shock. Time was of the essence. She couldn't afford to waste a second. Glancing at the countdown, which showed only 2 seconds left, Lin Luo raised her gun without hesitation and shot at the 3 night demons. Bang bang bang, the slow, muffled gunfire echoed as she watched the bullets tracing their paths in the air, giving her a sci-fi movie vibe. She instinctively glanced at the countdown. Oh no, 3 shots took only 1 second. At this moment, the power of the skill was fully revealed, and an indescribable smile spread across Lin Luo's face. The audience in the livestream, seeing her like this, began to scoff. In the face of their disdain, Lin Luo remained unfazed. This bunch of losers is just jealous that I have this divine skill. Luckily, I Am Legend VR is a single-player storyline mode. If it were a multiplayer mode, this woman would probably use this preemptive strike skill to crush this group of noobs in the livestream. How long is 1 second? It passes in the blink of an eye. Watching the night demon pounce from the side, Robert felt a wave of helpless despair welling up inside him. Having walked in the realm of death for years, he never imagined he would be so close to it one day. It was truly frustrating. The vaccine to save humanity hadn't been developed yet. Even in the face of death, Robert still lamented his inability to save humanity. However, just as he was filled with regret and prepared to face death, bang, Bang! 3 violent gunshots rang out in his ears simultaneously, and the 3 night demons, only 2 steps away, had their bald heads exploded in an instant. Warm, red blood mixed with gray brain matter splattered onto his face. Robert, who subconsciously blinked slightly, looked at Lin Luo as if he had seen a ghost, astonished. What happened? What did this woman do? Instantly taking down 3 night demons up close. How did she do that? Why didn't he feel her move? At that moment, Robert's heart was filled with shock. He couldn't figure it out, no matter how hard he tried. From encountering the night demons to reacting and then shooting, it had only been 2 or 3 seconds at most. Yet, in that brief moment, she accomplished something seemingly impossible. Could it be that this woman wasn't human? If it weren't for the fact that he knew Lin Luo was a real person, he would have thought she was a night demon in human skin. What normal person could react like that? Why was he still standing there? Hurry up and leave. Seeing Robert's shocked expression, Lin Luo felt pleased but knew there was no time to waste, so she urged him on. Oh. Hearing her, Robert suddenly snapped back to reality. He responded a couple of times and then quickly ran into the safe passage with Sam. Lin Luo followed without hesitation. Soon, the two returned to the spacious hall they had entered earlier. As they stepped into the hall, a number of gray figures emerged from the surrounding darkness. It was a group of night demons hiding in the shadows. Dozens of night demons rushed out from the corners. Robert looked at the numerous night demons and then glanced at the iron door that was still open in the distance, his expression turning serious as he shouted, "Charge." As soon as he finished speaking, he was the first to rush out, shooting at the approaching night demons while running. Lin Luo followed closely behind, also raising her gun to clear out the surrounding night demons. With the sound of gunfire, more and more night demons appeared, and their rifles shifted from single shots to sprays. Although Lin Luo was extremely nervous facing the dozens of night demons, she had gradually adapted to this world as she explored it. They sprinted and safely broke out of the iron door. The light-fearing night demons could only hide in the darkness, letting out unwilling roars towards the door to vent their frustration. This is so thrilling. Yes, it feels like watching a live broadcast. If I had to play myself, I'd probably be scared to death. Seriously, who says otherwise? I bought the game, but haven't dared to play it yet. I wonder if the next game from that extreme studio will be designed to be less scary. I don't know if it will be scary or not, but I know the next game seems to be about the apocalypse. After seeing the light again, Lin Luo sat down on the stone steps to rest and inadvertently saw the comets. Suddenly remembering what Lin Fei had told her, she pretended to let something slip, starting to speak but quickly covering her mouth. Wow, what did you say, Sister Luo? Yes, Sister Luo, quickly tell us what you know. Riding a wild boar, singing mountain songs, tipped the streamer during the Carnival X5, already tipped, seeking insider info. With the generous donation from this wealthy individual, the gifts in the live stream skyrocketed, causing Lin Luo to momentarily see stars. Before she could respond to the audience, Robert stood up beside her. Noticing this, Lin Luo immediately asked, "What's wrong? Are you going back?" No, Robert shook his head, his dark eyes fixed deeply on the open iron door. "I want to catch an infected being to take back. The recent experiments have hit a bottleneck, and I feel this time it should work." Catch an infected being? Lin Luo was taken aback by Robert's words. Everyone online was aware of Robert's efforts to create an antiviral serum and admired this man, who sought to save humanity single-handedly. Now, this guy was actually planning to capture a creature of the night to bring back. Wow, isn't this a bit too reckless? Is he really going to risk his life and bring one back to play with? Yes, I can handle it myself. You stay here and rest. Robert nodded at her, then walked over to a few old cars not far away. Seeing this, Lin Luo realized she might not be able to help with capturing a creature of the night. So, she decided not to follow him, instead sitting in place and watching the explosive influx of gifts in the live stream. She almost laughed out loud. After adjusting her mindset, she quickly shifted her focus to the audience and said, No, stop sending gifts. I really don't know what to do. P.S. The 4th update is complete. Please support with a like and a recommendation. Chapter 039, The Doomsday Planet? 1 ball for each person? I don't know which big shot once said, when a woman says no, you have to listen to it the other way around. When a woman says she doesn't know, it means she knows, and she probably knows a lot. The audience in the live stream clearly understood this principle. Therefore, the more sincerely Lin Luo refused, the more it proved that this woman had something to hide. Those who understand, understand. The gifts must keep coming. The spending was frenzied. Utterly inhumane. In short, keep sending gifts until she says to stop. Let us blow her up. Faced with an audience that was extravagantly generous, Lin Luo was completely overwhelmed. In today's internet slang, it's not that she couldn't hold on, it's that they were giving too much. In just a short while, the backend data showed that the total value of gifts exceeded 200,000. 200,000 in 10 minutes? What does that even mean? This is faster than picking up money. Low. Aren't the brothers generous? Hurry up and tell us about the next game. Yeah, as long as you dare to reveal it. From now on, you're my diehard fan. No, I mean I'm your diehard fan. My whole family are your diehard fans. Why do I feel like he is cursing at me? Having deeply felt the enthusiasm of the live stream audience, Lin Luo shifted her gaze to the camera, revealing a troubled expression, and said, "Friends, it's not that I don't want to say some things. It's that I really can't say. Come on, the brothers are all waiting here, and you just say you're not playing anymore? Who does that? Exactly. Don't think about refunds. We don't want that. We want to hear the news. Right? Nobody is short of a few bucks. If you're generous, just say what you can say. Yes, we promise. What you say will only be known to the brothers in the live stream. Absolutely no leaks." Hearing this, Lin Luo instinctively glanced at the number of online viewers in the live stream. Oh my, why are there so many people? Over 120,000? You're here swearing to keep it confidential with this many people. Does it even matter if it leaks? If I say something, it wouldn't even take a minute for it to trend. Given the current situation, if it weren't for Lin Fei's signal, she wouldn't dare to say anything outside. But since Lin Fei had given the nod, what is there to worry about? She was practically bursting to speak. Lin Luo immediately decided to let loose, speak boldly, and go all out. However, she still had to maintain a certain demeanor. Otherwise, how could she live up to those gifts? Thinking this way, Lin Luo immediately put on a skeptical expression. Her look was absolutely award-winning. Are you sure it won't leak? I'm telling you, if it gets out, you'll really be putting me in a tough spot. Wow, this person really knows how to act. Upon hearing her words, a group of netizens in the live stream immediately sent bullet comments to guarantee. Guaranteed no leaks. Guaranteed no leaks 10,086. I swear on my dog Wonkai's head, the host's words will never leak. I also swear not to leak this information. If I do, my sister-in-law will never find a boyfriend in her life. I swear, if I leak it, my sister will lose 3 teeth. My dad will never catch a fish in his life. My homeroom teacher's bike will get flat tires every day. What on earth is this? Everyone is making ridiculous vows. None of them involve themselves. Have you all lost your minds? Such talented individuals. Lin Luo looked at the barrage of comments in the live stream, feeling completely overwhelmed. After collecting her thoughts and organizing her words, Lin Luo said, "Since you all made promises, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't share anything at all. So if I hold back, it would be a bit pretentious. Brothers, before I start, please show some support by following, and give some love to the big brother on the leaderboard too." After a brief pause, she continued, "This afternoon, I did go to the player studio, but it wasn't as everyone imagined. I went just to see a friend. But I must say, I did catch a glimpse of some content when I was there. I said, Sister Luo, don't keep us hanging like this. Who hasn't given you a follow in the live stream? Exactly, just get to the point. Enough with the small talk." Seeing Lin Luo take so long to get to the main topic, the audience in the live stream started to get impatient, flooding the comments section. Roasted Pig, donated to the streamer Carnival X5. Girl, can you just get to the point? Everyone is watching. PPD, donated to the streamer Carnival X5. Hurry up. I stopped my live stream just to see you. Dai Xiaomei, donated to the streamer Carnival X8. Who can stand this? Hurry up and stop stalling. Suddenly, a flurry of gifts appeared along with more comments. Wow, what is going on with these people? Seeing top streamers from all over the platform participating in the carnival, Lin Luo completely lost her composure and looked up. Oh my, unknowingly, all the top game streamers on the platform had joined in. Seeing the screen filled with carnival notifications, Lin Luo couldn't help but smile. Thank you. Thank you to all the big shots for the donations. However, in response to her gratitude, the top streamers showed no appreciation and urged her to hurry up and speak. Lin Luo saw that the momentum was unstoppable, so she immediately said, "Since that's the case, I'll heed the public's wish and share some news. From my friend, I indeed saw a new game, but it's currently in the debugging phase. According to my friend, the new game still follows the apocalypse theme." Ah, another apocalypse theme? Are we not allowed to live? Yeah, one apocalypse theme is enough. Why add another? With such great graphics, can't we have a casual game instead? Who says otherwise? What is so great about apocalypse games? They're scary. Sister Luo, hurry up and contact the officials to give us some butter. The request above is good. Butter 10,086. What kind of people are these? Upon seeing the barrage of comments in the live stream, Lin Luo was completely taken aback. This group just wouldn't give up. They still wanted to play the game? How about playing something else instead? Those shouting about playing that game should just leave. What's wrong with the apocalypse game? Isn't it exciting? And do you even know what the next apocalypse game will be like? If you don't know, then stop babbling here. Let me tell you, the next apocalypse game is completely different from I Am Legend VR. To put it simply, if the storyline of I Am Legend is a dead city, then the next apocalypse game, it is a world, a complete world, just like our planet. It's the end of a planet. Boom. The end of a planet? What would that be like? The audience in the live stream was stunned by Lin Luo's words. No matter how hard they tried to imagine, they couldn't picture what kind of world that would